Hello and welcome to this R tutorial. Today we're going to implement the k nearest neighbors classifier on R. So let's start right now. The first thing we're going to do is to set the working directory. So right now I'm on my desktop. We're going to go to Machine Learning AZ folder, part 3 classification, and then section k nearest neighbors. All right, that's the folder we want to set as working directory. Make sure that you have the social network add CSV file. And if that's the case, you're ready to click on this more button here to set the folder as working directory. Here we go, that's done. And now we're going to use our classification template to be efficient and generate all the results in a flashlight. So I'm going to select everything from here to the top. There you go, copy and paste it here. And now we need to change a very few things. First, we need to create the classifier here. And we just need to change the titles of our plots in the training set results and the test set results. So let's do this right now so that we don't forget. I'm going to replace classifier by, so it's k and n. So we're just doing this to specify the algorithm that we're plotting. And here as well, classifier is replaced by k and n. Right, and now what we only need to do is to create our classifier. But first, let's select and execute the pre-processing steps. So I just need to select everything from here and then press Command or Control plus Enter to execute. That's done. All right, so we have our data set. We can have a look. That's our data set, our training set, and our test set, which are well scaled. Okay, so as a reminder, the data set contains information about users in a social network. The social network has a business client, which is a car company, that puts ads on the social network. And the social network gathered not only the information like the age and the estimated salary of those users, but also took the response to these users to the ad, that is 0 if the user didn't buy the product, the car, and 1 if the user bought the product. So, it's a very cool luxury SUV launched at a ridiculously low price. So a lot of people, when they saw the ad, said, let's do this, let's get the car. And we can see there are a lot of buyers. So yeah, as you can see, it must be a very cool car and cheap. So now let's go back to KNN and create our classifier. So the classifier is a KNN classifier. And to create this, we're going to first import the right library. We need a library for this, which is, by the way, called class. So let's do this. So if by any chance the class library is not in your packages list, you need to install it using this command, install.packages, and in parentheses and in quotes, the name of the class, which is class. But I think you might have it by default. But if that's not the case, please write this command with class inside, then execute and it will install it. But so here we're just going to write library and in parentheses class. So that selects automatically the class. You see that right now the class package is not selected. And once this is executed, it will select it automatically. All right. And now we're going to do something a little different, because usually, we create our classifier here and then we create this vector of prediction ypred using this predict function that we apply on our classifier and on new observations in the test set. But here, it's like we're going to do this 2 steps all in once, because we're actually going to remove this line and we're actually going to replace this comment fitting k and n to the training set and predicting the test set results, because all in once we're going to fit k and n to our training set and predict if the users of our test set buy, yes or no, the SUV. So you're going to understand why. We're going to directly create our vector of prediction ypred here. And then, before we had classifier equals, then the SVM or logistic regression. Here, it's going to be directly ypred equals KNN, because actually this KNN function here will return the predictions of the test set observations. Okay, so now let's have a look at this KNN function and you'll get it. So press F1. Okay, so K nearest neighbor classification. Let's first input the arguments. The first argument is train. So you can guess that by train, they mean the training set. So here we need to specify what the training set is. And actually, since we call it training set, it's training set. So training set here. All right, training set. However, the training set, as you can see, contains the independent variables and the dependent variable, and we only need to take the independent variables. We won't include the dependent variable in the knn function here. So here we need to take only the first two columns. So we're going to add a bracket here and then comma, because on the left of this comma is all the lines that I'm taking, all the observations, and at the right of this comma is the columns I want to include in the training set. So it's all the columns except for the last one. So I'm going to put here -3, which means that I'm removing the last column of my training set.